18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch.
Buddy.
Hey, well, first of all, guys,
No, yeah, for sure.
Excuse me, if I can interject here, I just want to thank my fans out there because I'm honored to have such great fans, man. And if somebody wanted to know how I could ever pay back the black community of rappers who opened the doors for me, it's Ram Ranch 85, 40 naked huge hard black 12-inch cocks, hard as rocks. What do I see pulling up to the cock ship? Yo.
Yeah, for sure. So
I owe to the early rappers like Run DMC and the early rappers Chicago and New York and LA that have opened the doors for Eminem and Beastie Boys and all us rapper boys, the white boys. So my hat off, like I tell the interviewer guys, Cassius Clay was basically the first rapper, man. I fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He laid the foundation for all of us, man.
I love him. I love Cassius.
Yeah, man. So he laid the foundation. So my first song was $1 billion.
Yep.
I earned the Gettys $1 billion. The way they treat me really sucks. While the Getty Museum sits atop Malibu, the corpses of World War II scream, J.P. Getty, we know you. So Getty supported Hitler in the late 30s while London was being bombed. Yeah, his mother was actually German, so they supported Hitler right up to past the Battle of Britain, right up to Pearl Harbor, and he was bringing Nazis into New York City. He had a file of espionage for the FBI, and he was, it was a pretty heavy thing. So I put this big oil deal together in Wall Street, the Getty Reserve deal, Wall Street Journal, like I was a multimillionaire, 22 in real estate. I had a gay friend who was just happened to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
So that laid my foundation. Like every time I go to Paris, I go to the Musée Rodin. I was inspired by not only Rodin, who was Scorpio as I am, but also Dante. So I'd go to like Firenze, Italy, and Milano, and I was inspired by Dante, who wrote one of the greatest works of literature in the world called Inferno, Divine Comedy. So Dante inspired Rodin to do The Thinker and the Gates of Hell. So every time I go to Paris, I go to the Musée Rodin, and excuse me, after I was becoming a multimillionaire, I just became a bit bored with money and just decided I was going to go to Hollywood and do something productive with my life and leave a legacy thereafter. And it turned out to be Ram Ranch.
Yeah. How did you start in Hollywood? So was your original goals like, filmmaking and acting?
Yeah, listen, it's like Elton John or Tool, like sometimes when you strive to do something creative, you may not attain an academy for drama as an actor or director, like, Ridley Scott, like Gladiator or whatever it might be. But the fact is, I'm happy with where I am at my career in the creative world. Like, look what Elton John and the Stones and Led Zeppelin have attained in music, or Bruce Springsteen. So if, I just threw myself basically at Hollywood, went to UCLA, studied drama, lived with Professor Levine, met Ringo at the Rainbow and Sunset Boulevard, going down Sunset Boulevard one night in a white Cadillac Eldorado with this kid named Michael. And he says, "Oh, so you've been to Switzerland?" And I said, "Yeah, I've been to Zurich." He said, "Next time you're in Gstaad, I'll have to try to make sure you meet my mother." And I said, "Well, who's your mother?" And he says, "Elizabeth Taylor."
Wow.
I was in Elizabeth Taylor's Cadillac with Michael Wilding Jr., her son. So, I was able to live in Hollywood for a few years and, work on movie sets at Universal and Warner Brothers and, really, get to know the inside track of Hollywood and then put the big oil deal together in New York to produce my films, the Getty Reserve deal. So to be where I am now, particularly with gay rights being significantly taken away in the USA, I have a song, Be Proud, and, so there's offshoots of the music industry that I'm ever so proud of. Yeah, for sure. And of course, to succinctly, establish how Ram Ranch came about.
Yeah.
So my first song, as I say, was basically to get back at the Gettys. I earned the Gettys $1 billion. The way they treat me really sucks. That was my first song, which was rap. I would never have been able to do a song if it weren't for the early rappers. So rap was my core. It was my foundation, my springboard. So then I figured, like, I've been to Nashville a few times, like, so, gee, my grandfather used to play the fiddle, Orange Blossom Special type stuff, so I figured, okay, a nice cowboy song would be nice,
Yeah.
So my first song was
Yeah.
Best Friend Jake, dedicated to my best friend, so Nashville, they wouldn't play it, but they would take a donation to their church, which just happened to have been a division of the radio station.
Oh.
Excuse me.
That's crazy.
So they wouldn't play Best Friend Jake because it was about two guys. So then I wrote Lonesome Boy in Tennessee, hoping one day to be as great as Brad Paisley and Dolly. And they wouldn't play that, but they would take a donation to their church. So then I said, fuck, what a corrupt town, man. What a corrupt industry, This is the new level of payola through churches. They take their donation. It's a tax-free, scam they got going in Nashville. There's more religious lunatics and outfits based in Nashville, Tennessee than anywhere else in America. And they've destroyed the country music industry. So then I put out Cadillac Riding Cowboy. Gulf,
a classic.
yeah, thank you. Gulfstream jet on the runway gets us where we want to go. Previs and tractor trailers in tow. I basically told Nashville where to go. I took out a piece of paper and a pen and started writing. 18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch.
Yes, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, man. And an hour and a half later, I fucking finished Ram Ranch.
Can you?
Where did you get the? Oh.
Can you, for the audience, just have a recreation of the original lyrics of Ram Ranch, the first one?
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Hey, listen, and Doja Cat is up at YouTube doing this.
Is she really?
Yes, I sent you the link. Doja Cat. Doja Cat is up at YouTube doing Ram Ranch.
Doja Cat's doing Ram Ranch?
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna send this to Doja.
Doja Cat visited Ram Ranch.
Hey,
That's
listen,
crazy.
I sent you the link for it. So here is basically even the way Doja Cat is doing it. She's just fucking reading it off, man. 18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Big hard throbbing cocks wanting to be sucked. 18 naked cowboys wanting to be fucked. Cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. On their knees wanting to suck cowboy cocks. Ram Ranch really rocks. Hot, hard, buff cowboys, their cocks throbbing her. 18 more wild cowboys out in the yard. Big bulging cocks, ever so hard. Orgy in the showers at Ram Ranch. Big hard throbbing cocks, ram and cowboy butt like a breed of ram wanting to rut. Excuse me. Big hard throbbing cocks, ram and cowboy butt like a breed of ram wanting to rut. Big hard throbbing cocks getting sucked real deep. Cowboys even getting fucked in their sleep. Ram Ranch, it rocks. Cowboys love big hard throbbing cocks. And that's basically to get back at Nashville. Man, fuck.
Yeah.
That's
Where did you
my
get
favorite
the-
song, to be honest.
Thank
It's
you.
honestly probably mine.
Thank you.
Where'd you get the idea to?
Well,
And listen,
before we do
hey,
that,
hey,
before
hey,
we
Colton,
okay, keep going.
Colton,
Yeah.
Colton, listen, if I can interject here, I'll tell
course.
you how Ram Ranch 2 came about.
There's a
All
second
right.
one?
There's over 600.
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot.
there's over 600. I got 601 out now. It's up at.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the 601st.
Okay,
Wow.
Yeah, 601 versions of Ram Ranch. Okay, so the fact is, I was up a Discord chat room, and this kid says, Grant, why don't you make a sequel to Ram Ranch? And I said to him, that's like Dark Side of the Moon sequel with Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin doing Stairway to Heaven 2. I said, I can't do that. So the fact is, George Lucas is from the MacDonald clan from Scotland, and I figured if George Lucas can do Star Wars 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could do Ram Ranch 2. So I recorded Ram Ranch 2, and now I'm up at 601.
Where did you get the ideas for all the plot lines? There's
It's
so much
basically a multiverse at this point.
complicated story. Oh, it's absolutely.
Well, like I've been to Scotland, and my ancestors go back up to Glencoe, and with the English King William of Orange sent Robert Campbell up to our castle up in northern Scotland at Glencoe, which I've been to. And, my ancestors wined and dined, the soldiers, they were supposedly going up north to Scotland to check up on something. But King William wanted to overthrow the MacDonald clan, take over Scotland. So in the wee hours, like February the 12th, 17, whatever, Robert Campbell and his soldiers awoke and they slaughtered 38 members of my family ancestors, the MacDonald family in Scotland.
Wow.
So the fact is, here was Prince Harry out in fucking Las Vegas with his dick out and bare butt. So I figured, okay, Prince Harry's open season, man. So Prince Harry, as you know, and even in 601 at Riven Rock, Prince Harry's being butt fucked by the Black Hawk Gang, man. And Thor's on the floor begging for more. So it just developed, like Justin Bieber's there, Shawn Mendes, all these characters come in and out of, the whole storyline. So it's just fun.
Yeah.
And I think if anything in your career, if you can do something that you enjoy and have fun with every day, man, that's so important. Because I found, even though like I was a multimillionaire in real estate, I just wanted to do something creative that I had fun with, so it's important as you go through your careers, like to pick something that you enjoy and have fun with, totally.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
Before we get to the next question, I totally forgot to introduce everybody. So, hi, it's me, Daniel Stewart. We have Colton Annable here. Down here we have Kate Rowden, Colton Annable's girlfriend, who is here and hasn't talked. And, of course, the powerful Mr. Grant MacDonald.
Oh, gee, I'm totally honored. Hey, Dan, it's Stewart. You're like totally Scottish, man. Give me a break. The Wright brothers are from the MacDonald clan, and Paul Allen. The Wright brothers. Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft. Ted Turner, CNN. So there's a lot of really important characters. As I said, George Lucas. Some really important members of the MacDonald clan from Scotland.
I thought Paul Allen was from American Psycho.
No, Paul Allen was co-founder of Microsoft with Bill Gates.
Oh,
and
that's right.
Yeah, he just passed away. He had one of the biggest yachts in the world with a submarine on it. So the Allen family are from the MacDonald clan. He was one of the richest guys in the world with Bill Gates. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it really seems like the MacDonald family is at the center of the world here.
Is this in any way related to like McDonald's as in like the restaurant, or is it different? I can see it's spelled different.
No, it's the same clan. The MacDonald boys that put that together. And I go back actually to the MacDonald Tobacco Company from Prince Edward Island, Canada, and we donated like $3 billion to McGill University in Montreal. That's my family in Prince Edward Island. We came to Ile Saint Jean in the 1700s in Prince Edward Island. We had 27,000 acres.
Yeah.
That were given to our family on Prince Edward Island by Scotland. And that's where we started. And Sir James MacDonald is buried in Montreal, and he was the founder with his brother of MacDonald Tobacco Company. And they donated, like a lot of land in Montreal, and became one of the richest families in Canada. Yeah, gee. So,
are you still in contact with any of the very big, members of the MacDonald clan? Have you gotten in contact with any of those?
Yeah, actually, like the MacDonald Tobacco Company had sent me a videotape of the Glencoe massacre, which they produced, which was rather significant. And I had the honor of going to Scotland, north from London up to Edinburgh, and then west to Glasgow, and then up into Fort William and to Glencoe, to the actual site where our castle was. Now we're over at the Isle of Skye, and over, like my family, the MacDonalds, were actually go back to a Norse king, Scottish king, and an Irish king. Yeah. Wow. And as I was saying earlier, my dad was knighted by the president of France. President Hollande honored my dad with a knighthood because he fought Normandy and D-Day to Berlin. And my grandfather, Daniel MacDonald, was a Sergeant Major at Vimy Ridge. So, and when my dad passed away in 97, not too long ago, he left me his title and his medals. So I'm really honored. Yeah. And I've been Yeah, I've been to France and to Berlin and, Baden-Baden and down the Rhine. But ultimately, a creative project,
Yeah.
whether it's Zeppelin or Tool, or whether it's, Ridley Scott picking one up for Gladiator or Titanic, to put something together that you leave into the world. And now gay rights are being taken away by those, religious lunatics, the Republicans in the States who are just so corrupt. So now you see corruption in politics and religion at work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my song, Be Proud, could be a cornerstone to my career right now. And as I was saying in the intro, and as we were talking about, I just did an interview there with Rolling Stone at New York City pertaining to this convoy that took over the Ambassador Bridge and Ottawa in Canada against supposed vaccinations, but at their true core root, they were trying to create a coup like the January 6th guys in Washington and Ottawa to overthrow our government based upon their religious extremism. So the convoy, I got a call actually, from Sean, and he says, "Hey, Grant, they're using your song in Ottawa, Ram Ranch." And I thought, oh my God, I thought it was the truckers first, but it's actually like the doctors and nurses against the convoy idiots. So here I get this text, from New York, Rolling Stone saying, "We want to do an interview with you, So I thought it was a joke first, and then I find out. I say, okay, I'm willing to do an interview like right now. So she phoned me up, and we did a E.J. Dixon out of New York City, Rolling Stone. I did a 90-minute interview and about 14 interviews thereafter with newspapers all around the world. So, I'm just honored that Ram Ranch has taken on an identity onto itself to stand up, for our rights. Yeah.
Yeah. And you certainly got a pretty big fan base. I remember there was so when I was probably like freshman year, it was pretty big. I remember during a class photo, I probably could find it somewhere. In the class photo, one of the students started playing Ram Ranch as they were getting the photo taken.
And
so,
like Asian Andy and Ice Poseidon, and like Asian Andy went into this great big, techie convention, and he paid the guy $50 to play Ram Ranch on the whole PA system.
Did he really?
And here, 18 naked cowboys and big arthropic cocks. It's on the PA system throughout this whole building.
People used to do that at the basketball games. They connect to the Bluetooth because it was just open. They'd play Ram Ranch.
Yeah, they would go in like to a Home Depot and take over their PA system or something, and it would be playing all over the store. And, the dudes would be walking around looking at a refrigerator, pretending they don't know who did it, And this guy in London, he stops complete strangers on the road, and says, "Hey, could you listen to this new song, and it's like, 'Please, sir, feed me more cum. Please, sir.'" The guy is listening, and he said, "I love that song, man." He says, "I'm going to play it for my family." And, Carl is saying, "Oh, really, man?" "Yeah, it's the best thing I've ever heard," he says,
What does your family think of Ram Ranch? Are they fans?
Actually, like my mother, I once played a Bucking Cowboy tour. That was before Fucking Cowboy and Sucking Cowboy. I played Bucking Cowboy. I'm the Bucking Cowboy, bucking and bucking all day. And my mother says, "You sure that's bucking?" It was pretty mild in those days, man, the Bucking Cowboy. And then came Sucking Cowboy and Fucking Cowboy.
I had several.
Is your mother?
I had several people. Once I told people about this interview that was gonna happen, I had several people, just be very excited to see, like, to hear you and to see you being interviewed. And I had a few messages. I don't remember some of them, but there was one that was like, "Tell Grant that he helped me." Oh, I forgot it now. He said, "Tell
Something
Grant."
about bipolar disorder.
No, he didn't say that.
Oh, gee, I'm honored, man.
He said, "Tell Grant that he helped me. He helped me hide my bisexuality to my friends."
Oh, gee whiz, I'm so honored to have fans that, have come out and stood up with dignity and class, and respect. particularly, like, I've got a book out called Holy Foe, and I dissect the goddamn Bible into Leviticus and Deuteronomy and show that, like, the homophobic shit that was written in the Torah like 5,700 years ago applied to priestly rules and rabbinical rules and have been taken out of context for so many years to harass us, man, and it's such fucking bullshit anyway when you go back to civilization represented 10 million years ago, so this fucking bullshit. And I've been to Rome, and it's like, the women in Italy hate the fucking Pope and bullshit, the religious shit that's being perpetrated in the States right now and perpetuated, fucking evil religion, man. So the fact is, when you realize that, here's the fucking Pope in Canada right now apologizing for fucking murdering, thousands of fucking kids because they wouldn't succumb to Catholicism. It's like when the Spanish came to the USA and fucking killed all the fucking, Aboriginal people, because they wouldn't bow to Catholicism. And it's such fucking bullshit when you go back into Constantine, who was basically like the first Pope, who fucking used the Christians to fight his fucking battle. Then after the battle was won, he basically told them to fuck off and then started worshiping the sun again. So it's just such fucking evil bullshit of 6,000 years into the Torah of fucking hell. So, and then to apply it to us with such corruption that's even happening in the States right now with the Republicans, is so fucking evil. And as I had said to Sean, what happens first is that the women are the first to get hit with taking away their rights in Texas. And it's usually the states, even Canada, like Alberta and Texas, the oil-rich areas that are the most evil, like against our rights. So you see Abbott there in fucking Texas and that DeSantis in Florida, the prick. So you see the corruption of religion applied to our rights. So, next is, fortunately in Canada, we have gay rights instilled into our government and the Supreme Court. But in the States, you now see it being taken away.
Yeah.
And, you're like when you see religious lunatic parents cast their kids out onto the streets, like it's shameful, based upon a corrupt book of hell and hate, which the Bible is. It should be banned because it's just a book of fucking terrorism into Deuteronomy. Kill everybody in your family that doesn't have the same beliefs. Kill everybody in your fucking house. Kill everybody in your town. It's written in the fucking Bible. So it's basically a book of terrorism and hate. So my fucking representation is fucking love, respect, and fucking dignity, boy.
Respect that.
Yeah, if you fucking fall in love with your buddy or your girlfriend, man, you stand up for that fucking love because, all that religious bullshit is exactly that, fucking bullshit. So, like to have the opportunity to communicate now, like, fuck. It's such an honor. Such a true honor.
Seeing stuff like what's happening in the Supreme Court right now, I think I saw the other day. Yeah.
Corruption, man. Fuck. Gee whiz, those fucking Supreme Court judges are such pricks and evil bastards. But not only that, paid off by the fucking church. Because it's so corrupt. It's so fucking corrupt. That's why the church has destroyed the country music industry in Nashville. And I felt it and I know it. But the fact is, when you see the Supreme Court and set up by fucking Donald Trump, the prick himself, just joking about this shit. I once said to Stephen Harper came in Canada as a conservative, and the first thing he was going to do is to take away our rights as gay people. So he went in and had a vote in Parliament, and it collapsed. Like Hedy Fry, who was a liberal from BC, she said, I'm a doctor and have delivered many babies, and I'm standing up for their rights. And that was like 9:38 at night, and the vote was 9:45. Harper's vote collapsed. He walked out in shame, and he said he was never going to open it up again. But the fact is, politicians, man, are out there as corrupt as fucking hell, taking money from the churches, and they'll do anything. And that's basically what Trump has been doing, putting these pricks in the Supreme Court. So when you see the poor women lose their rights for abortion, and as I say, in fucking Italy, they hate the fucking Pope. So the Pope can worm his way around, like a fucking snake, which they are, and take away our fucking rights or attempt to. So, it's up to us to stand up with dignity and respect for each other, and fucking love. Number one.
Have you had any encounters with homophobia from your music and also just like in general?
Oh, for sure, dude. Like Discord, the whole Discord thing. Like I have Discord.xxx goes straight into the Ram Ranch Discord. So I've had all kinds of religious lunatics in there, just trying to cast their biblical crap and drag their crosses through there and cause shame to Ram Ranch. And fortunately, all my fans and cool boys and cool girls have stood up for our dignity. We've come out the other side, like, gee, as I say, what an honor to even do that, Rolling Stone interview. But now to have 600, hey, I've got over 2,000 songs out.
Yeah.
601 Ram Ranch songs, but I've got lots of cowboy songs out there, And as you know, oil rigger boy, Camaro cowboy, Corvette cowboy. Hey, I was in Halifax. Sean and I were having lobster and filet mignon on the waterfront there by the sidewalk, and we had just finished. So I get up, and the waiter. I said, yeah, I'm in the music industry. And he says, oh, is there anything that I might know? I said, oh, I've got the F-150 Ford truck out, and in the back, your butthole, I'd like to fuck. And he laughed his head off as I walked away. So, like, you can have fun with it. That's number one, to have fun with it,
Yeah. We both make music, me and Dan. My friend Devin also helps me out. Yeah, and it's all about fun. That's really what you got to focus on. Otherwise, it's pointless.
If it's not fun, there's almost no point in it. And I think your songs are a very good like example of really having fun when you make music.
Yeah, that's like, I've got about 36 dots, like fuck ship, .xxx, cock ship, starship. And ironically, I've got, but anyway, so my techie people who look after my renewals and things, like I would phone in to Pennsylvania and I said to, Karen once, I said, yeah, my songs are a little tongue-in-cheek. And she says, yeah, I should say they're tongue-in-cheek. Big hard cocks, hard as rocks, erupted with come afloat. Tongue-in-cheek. Oh, yeah, slightly tongue-in-cheek.
A little bit. I saw a thing, I think it was in the Discord rules, about something about terrorism. Did something happen?
Well, not distinctly, except for the fact that these NOLA characters come in with their religious crap.
Yeah.
And, fortunately, I live in a secure condo building, with 72 cameras. So anytime somebody harasses me, then I'm secure, fortunately. So I've had threats, fucking a-holes. We've, traced their IP addresses and shit, and there's just characters, these religious lunatics, it's like, yeah. So the fact is, hey, you have to be strong. You have to stand up for your creativity, particularly going into an area which, Ram Ranch has gone into. But hey, I'm proud of it, man. The way I look at it, if my grandfather could fight through France at Vimy Ridge and be a sergeant major, and my dad went from Normandy and D-Day to Berlin and was knighted by the president of France, I can stand up for our rights in America and the world. Hey, yeah. I just picked up a nice Corvette sports car. Hey,
did you really?
Yeah. Wow. If I can't, and I'm standing here right now on the 32nd floor, looking straight up into downtown Toronto on the lake, my recording studio's on the 31st floor. If I can't maintain my dignity and creative freedom, then fuck them, yeah, for sure. So I'm just lucky to have come through. Excuse me. I'm just lucky to have been a multimillionaire at 22.
Yeah.
And have had the financial freedom to go to Hollywood and put this big oil deal together in New York because of my alliance with Peter in real estate and through London and Switzerland. So that established my first song, $1 billion. So, I'm just honored to have come through the other side for my creative, goals, for sure. Yeah.
It's really amazing that, going from the oil and also Hollywood and while still being able to, pursue this music career where you do exactly what you want and you don't really give a shit what you know
Exactly.
what else where you
Yeah.
can be talking about big hard throbbing cocks, and please, daddy,
Exactly,
evening come.
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
big hard
for sure. To
throbbing
have
cocks.
fun. And Prince Harry and Thor on the floor. Prince Harry oinking for more at Riven. And the irony behind it all is that, like, I recorded Prince Harry butt fucked in Africa long before he met Meghan and long before he left UK. And then, of course, he meets Meghan, who lived in Toronto, of all things. And then he moves to Toronto and then out to BC and then down to Riven Rock. And now he's living at Riven Rock and Montecito. And what do we see at the Riven Rock, Ram Ranch? Prince Harry's being butt fucked by the Black Cock Gang. and Della and the Black Cock Gang, it's like, hey, the Black Cock helicopters are landing.
I think you said you told me something about Andala once. I can't remember.
Excuse me.
How is he?
Oh, Andella's just a super cool buff boy, student in Halifax that is so fucking and beautiful. So Andella is a real character that came through, with Sean as university students, so they were written in as real characters. So, very significant, very significant. I'm just honored to have, hey, move over J.R.R. Tolkien, man. Fuck, who needs Bilbo and Frodo? And I did a fucking song in New Zealand that, Gollum is looking for the ring and he loses it up Prince Harry's butthole. And Meghan is going off with the dragon. The dragon is fucking Meghan. In New Zealand, and the fucking ring is still up Prince Harry's butthole. And Harry Potter. So you can have fun just weaving in and out of these characters, it's like 85. And of course, 7. As I say to my fans, sometimes you got to record 10 songs to get a 7. You got to record 100 songs to get number 85. So 7. What do I see? The Ram Ranch under lockdown, under siege, Black Raptor trucks, Harrier jets, U.S. Marines looking for Prince Harry, and they're fucking Prince Harry.
Do you remember any of the Hollywood productions you were in? Like, do you remember any?
Oh my goodness, I was in FM at Universal Studios. I was in Sgt. Pepper's when Mr. Mustard was being kidnapped by the big balloon that night. It was so windy. I worked in all kinds of, I worked in about 27. I worked in Little Mo with Leslie Nielsen, Ann Baxter. I worked in, and then of course I was living with Professor Levine, excuse me, who was a renowned professor emeritus at UCLA, who was gay. And I lived with him, Westwood and Brentwood. We pulled up, and he was such a brilliant guy, man. Taurus. Like, one day he would go with $17,000 worth of Cartier, Cartier fountain pens, Cartier watch, all the burgundy attaché case. Next it would be Dunhill or Louis Vuitton. We go to Beverly, and then Westwood, if UCLA is like, such a magnificent little town, on, right next to UCLA campus, between Wilshire and Sunset Boulevard. So, to have had the honor of living out there and working, Professor Levine took me to, dropped me off at an Elton John show one night at the Hollywood Bowl. And at like 8:17 in the evening, this crane underneath the stage lifted a white baby grand piano out of underneath the stage over the audience to the west as Elton John started playing Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me as the sun was setting on the horizon. Like, oh my goodness,
Wow.
I know. Yeah, spectacular.
How many famous like big people in pop culture have you met through these Ram Ranch songs and other songs as well?
Well, excuse me. Up at Twitter, I was communicating with Luke Bryan out in Nashville, and he liked the song, Shucks, Luke, you sure are hung. Your cock's so big and so hard, bulging in your blue jeans. So Luke Bryan fucking got And he says, "Hey, Grant, I love that song, man. Fucking Luke Bryan loves that fucking song. Shucks, Luke, you sure are hung. Your cock's so big and so hard." Fucking, yeah. And you know, like lots of characters. But ultimately, as I was saying, you know, like I was on Sunset Boulevard at the Rainbow having lunch. And who come in and, excuse me, in the video November Rain by Guns N' Roses, you'll see a sign saying Rainbow, and you'll see the guys sitting at a booth with stained glass windows. Well, that's at the Rainbow on Sunset Boulevard, a very famous, you know, club. Anyway, I was in there having lunch one day, and who comes in but Ringo?
No way.
No way.
Ringo and his entourage, and they sit at a booth, just like out of Guns N' Roses November Rain video. So I go, I'm having lunch, man. So I go over to Ringo and I say, "Ringo, I hope I'm not imposing. I just want to compliment your genius on the White Album."
Oh, I got the White Album right here.
The White Album is the double album with green apples.
Ah, I love it.
And While My Guitar Gently Weeps comes from it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
A masterpiece. A masterpiece. It's a white album with embossed the Beatles, you know, all white.
And sometimes.
Yeah, with the green apples and the label on the records. So here I am, standing there speaking with Ringo, fucking star, and I say, I'm going to UCLA and I'm writing a script right now about life beyond death. And I say, it's very Dante-esque. And he says, "Hey, lad, sit down." I'm sitting with fucking Ringo talking about my Dante-esque script about life beyond death. And he says, "Hey, Grant, if you need any help with your soundtrack, you get in touch with me." So
Did you ever?
Well, I kind of tried to get a hold of him over in the Mediterranean once. But the fact of the matter is, I find, you know, that's like my fans are saying, even today, a couple hours ago, they say, "Oh, why don't you, you know, do something with Doja Cat or Drake, you know?" The fact is, I'm fucking proud of being an indie artist, and you know, and I kind of find that the last thing you want is to get tied up with litigation. So you do a song, you do a collaboration, and then you start fighting over, "Hey, well, Spotify made $100,000. You only got 40,000. I'm entitled to 60,000 because I'm a bigger star than you." You know, fuck that. I don't need that shit. I worked too hard for where I am, and I just want to have my freedom, man, my independence.
Yeah, I think indie's the way to go.
I think
absolutely.
I think you and
Absolutely.
you and Colton should collaborate on a song together.
I would love to.
Hey, you're so cool, Colton.
Grant's too big for me.
Yeah. Wild, wild cowboy. Colton riding in from the range. Big heart throbbing, cock hard as a rock sticking straight out.
Can Ram Ranch 602
got
be...
Colton in the showers. Ram Ranch Cowboys got Colton in the showers up against the wall.
Can Ram Ranch 602 just only be about Colton? You should have him inspire Ram Ranch 602.
But, you know, that's what I mean, to have freedom.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Colton is such a cool, you know, young cowboy that he could just be riding in from the range, stripped naked. The Indians have taken all his clothes away, and he's stripped naked.
I would love that. I would be honored. I would be honored. That's great.
I'm so glad that you're here with us, Mr. Grant. This is
I'm very honored to have you.
So, you know, ultimately, you know, I'm just honored to be able to use technology and creativity to record the songs that I want to record. You know, like to have Doja Cat up at YouTube, you know, doing 18 naked cowboys, you know, like fuck, that is so sweet, you know.
Did you ever contact her about that? You ever speak with Doja?
Well, you know, like I've, you know, thanked her up at YouTube, and it's as if we're communicating back and forth, you know, but I'm just thrilled and honored, you know. So to see her rise to such a degree that she has is pretty amazing. So, you know, for sure.
Your music has reached so many people. Are there any specific interactions you've had with fans or stuff with fans that you'd like to highlight?
Mm-hmm. I guess it's Asian Andy, you know, like an Ice Poseidon during the early days. And of course, that guy that had the Buddhist hotline, man, fuck. the guy that had the Buddhist hotline was so funny, like if you know who I'm talking about,
I'm not sure if I remember who is the Buddhist hotline man.
this kid out of Chicago, and he had me on a couple of times, and just so hilarious, yeah. So I'm just honored, that here I'm going to send you the link of Doja Cat here.
Awesome.
Here, yeah. So like to like to be able to have someone so significant as Doja Cat doing this,
Yeah.
during the early part of her career.
Well, you'd have to wonder if it inspired her in her music.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing that she's up there at YouTube, doing a cappella of Ram Ranch. There it is. There, I'm just sending it through to you. Can you see that Doja Cat listening to Ram Ranch?
Oh, there it is. Yep.
If you've seen like Doja Cat's earlier work right at the beginning of her career, you could really see she did a lot of parody-ish songs or like songs that are kind of like yours where she's just having a lot of fun while she's making them. So she definitely could have been inspired by your work and then rose to become this super incredibly popular artist.
Well, I can see that she has no barriers whatsoever with her lyrics now. Fuck that. Give me that cock. Like she's letting everything loose, and I just admire her so much for it. And when she fucking did this up at YouTube, I thought, oh my God, she looks like a 14-year-old girl. I can't even say hello to her.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until a couple of years after that she starting to become famous. And I said, oh my God, that's Doja Cat. She did that thing up at YouTube, Yeah. So I figured, well, now she's over 18. She must be 19. I can say hi to her, So
Yeah.
here she is now, and up at Twitter, I say hello to her, and here and there and back and forth type thing, and Jan Arden and famous people. Now I have, the privilege of, speaking with a lot of colleagues that are like Drake come in a couple of times up on Instagram and said, hey, how's it going? Just want to say hello to my fans. And half the time, I don't even trust these guys for being real. I said, okay, Drake, I worked on Degrassi first season with Nev Campbell.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Campbell?
Yeah, I worked with Nev Campbell and Degrassi first generation before Drake got started. That's how Drake actually got started. He was the little black boy.
In the wheelchair.
Exactly, man. So the fact is, that's where he got started. I'm a member of ACTRA, and I've worked on about 200 movies and TV things in Toronto. I worked with Jeremy Irons, Madam Butterfly, David Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg? No way. That's amazing.
Man. Yeah, fuck.
I have a couple of his movies on my shelf. Yeah, Jeremy
Irons, fucking Madam Butterfly. I've worked on Moonstruck with Cher and directed by Norm Jewison. But the fact is, as I say, sometimes, excuse me, sometimes, hey, it's like Elton John and Bruce Springsteen. If you can pick up an Academy Award for your music and have the freedom to do what you want to do, sometimes it's more important to have the freedom to make an 8-minute song or whatever. Gee whiz, 649 Ram Ranch.
Yeah.
So exactly. So sometimes to be able to put out like a 7-minute song that could catapult you into fame is pretty important, whether it's Dark Side of the Moon or Stairway to Heaven or whatever. So the creative world onto itself, it's like Eminem, 8 Mile. Eminem won his Academy Award for music, man, and film. 8 Mile was a movie, but the fact was it was music that inspired the guy, so sometimes music ain't too shabby, if you can get your message out in the music industry, man, then hey, and if you can have fun doing it, and you got to make money. You can't just, you can't just bang your head against the wall and not get paid for it.
Yeah. I've been doing my stuff. I mean, I have 3 songs out. I should actually have one coming out. Hopefully next week, maybe next Monday.
Great. Fucking excellent, dude.
But that's what I like about, being independent, is that I have the freedom to say, well, I wrote this thing in my bedroom today. I think I might put it up tomorrow. And that's, it's freeing. And there's no...
Absolutely. And with today's technology, it's absolutely brilliant to be able to do it, for sure. Excuse me. But ultimately, you got to build your fan base and create an income, like that you're getting. Hey, we learned that. I'm a member of ACTRA, which is our acting union. And I've worked in so many movie sets that, like at 2:30 in the morning, the producer's there with a stack of $100 bills and doesn't give you a goddamn cent,
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is that's why we have a union. And, like for me to go up and work at to minus 30 degrees up at Kelso Mountain or something, we've got our union up there with the heating mechanisms and food to make sure we're looked after. So just try not to bang your head against the wall too many times and not get paid for it. Hey, don't be ashamed to become a billionaire.
Yeah.
Hey, ask Drake. Fucking Drake has got a 767 fucking jet. He just built himself $100 million palace.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
bonkers.
yeah. So the fact, yeah. You ask Justin Bieber and Shawn Mendes and the boys, let alone, Beyonce and like the big league people, how they're doing and how many billion they've made, So you got to try to cue into the financial sector, particularly as an indie artist. You got to look at it as if that's your production company. You got to hone in and try to have an income of several $1 million a year, or 100 million.
There's a billion. You never know. There's a musician I like, and he's very prolific, similar to you, but he's actually managed to. I think he's got a little bit less quality, but he's been doing it since the '90s, and he has, I think, about 3,000 albums out, over 15 songs on each one, and he has got.
What's his name?
His name is Viper. His most popular song.
I've heard someone mention Viper.
The old cowards don't even smoke crack, and he makes songs about just what he likes, which tends to be crack. And all the power to him.
For sure. But excuse me. Ultimately, man, I want to make a statement. I want gay rights. I want to stand up for eroticism and having fun. Come a flowing. Shucks, Lucas, sure are hung. Please, sir, feed me more cum. Please, sir. like that. Hey, man, that's like the cornerstone of my fucking lyrical fucking happiness. That.
And it's good.
Please, sir, feed me more cum. Please, sir.
And I appreciate that it does stand up for something. It has a message. It's really standing for something, and it's doing something. I think that a lot of people can use Ram Ranch, and they can have a lot of fun with it. Hearing the most vulgar lyrics that you could possibly imagine, but then also being able to be comfy in their own skin and be like, well, I'm gonna go out and play Ram Ranch tonight at a bar on a tune. What is the jukebox? The AMI jukebox.
Absolutely, man. And as you were alluding to, you got that app on your iPhone, which I have. I can play. Excuse me. Like I've got 100 and some songs on the AMI jukeboxes all around America and Canada.
I have the touch tunes once.
I know, man. Like I can go on my iPhone to my AMI app and I can play Ram Ranch, and which I've done in Sacramento, California. I have played fucking Gavin Newsom in Sacramento, man, on fucking clubs, man. And I can see that it's playing 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then it stops. They fucking shut it down.
Not fair.
Sacramento. I played my songs in fucking New York and LA and all over America, man. Fuck. Yeah. There were some buddies, like in Moncton, New Brunswick, having a birthday party, and here I am tapping away, playing the fucking music on the AMI jukebox. Fuck.
I had some credits. I actually played it a little bit ago. They took away my credits, so now I can't. I was gonna try and play one at a bar.
Hey, thanks, man. That is so cool. I appreciate that. That's so nice of you, man. But to be able to tap, hey, Sean and I went into a steakhouse up here in your York University, and here I was playing fucking songs, and this father comes in with his 14-year-old son and 18 naked cowboys and big heart throbbing coffee. Fuck. And nobody knows who's fucking playing it. The waitresses are bringing food to your table, and you're on your iPhone playing the music.
Have you ever considered mixing? You've talked about movies and how you used to be involved in that. And have you ever considered, you can make perhaps like a musical or something if you want to combine your things. You can make one about, Getty Oil and that whole fiasco, or perhaps
Hey,
like
hey,
a Ram
listen.
Ranch cinematic universe.
Hey, I'm up at IMDb. I've got the 78 fucking DVDs out, man, up at Amazon. I've got the 14 hardcover books. I've got more DVD. I have a 6-disc set for Ram Ranch. I have a 6-disc set for Sean at Sean.xxx. Eroticism, fucking music, Ram Ranch songs, all through the DVDs.
Yep.
Yeah, man, technology, you just let me have my computer programs and, camera work and fuck, absolutely.
I'll have to buy some of those.
Thank you. But ultimately, man, like to have the freedom to create music, fuck, I'm so honored. I'm honored for my fans to say, you're the voice of our generation, and stuff like that. Fuck, I'm so honored, man. Fuck.
It is an honor.
Oh.
It's an honor to talk to you, Grant. I'm glad that you came on. Very glad.
Dude, as I say, I've been fucking down to LA through Arizona into Texas, man.
I'm from Arizona.
I know, and I've been to Key West, Florida, New Orleans, Mardi Gras, Dallas, and Houston, man, all the way up to Paris many times, down to Rome, and up into northern Scotland, and London, many, many, many times to London. I'm just from the east coast of Canada, Prince Edward Island, man. So I'm honored to have put the big oil deal together in New York, but it was the foundation for all of the music because that was my first song. I earned the Gettys $1 billion. The way they treat me really sucks. While the Getty Museum sits atop Malibu, the corpses of World War II scream, J.P. Getty, we know you. Yeah. So to be able to use that foundation of rap, excuse me, like Cassius Clay laid the foundation for us rappers, man.
Yeah.
Fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee. That like structure, exactly, man. That is the whole nucleus of rap, man, know. So that gave me my first song, and that gave me the confidence to believe that it was a song unto itself. So that's what rap has done, man. It has established, the Beastie Boys and Eminem to be able to have credibility in the music industry. So, okay, guys, listen, I just thought I'd do this interview with you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
and just honored, Kay.
We're honored to have you on.
You really are a legend. Have been a legend at my in my life. At least, and friends that I know. So, really
Dan,
thank you
that
for
is
being
such an honor for you to say that. And Kay, there,
Yeah.
Colton, it is just such an honor to be able to thank my fans out there.
Thank you.
And you just know that excuse me. Sometimes when you stand up for your rights, you get stuff thrown at you. It's just like the Republicans at the Supreme Court in the United States. I feel for you people down there, because in Canada, we have our rights instilled and they can't take them away. So I live in Canada, the greatest country in the goddamn world. If the United States is collapsing because of religious corruption, then it's shameful. And to see these fucking pricks in the Supreme Court do this, is just disgraceful. So, it's up to you guys to stand up and vote Democrat, like gee whiz, and get rid of these nasty, fucking crazed religious nutcases, that are taking your rights away. Fuck.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'm really glad that you came on and said what you wanted to say and really stood up for what you believe in.
Well, as I say, if you go to iTunes or Spotify or YouTube Music and just put in Be Proud by Grant MacDonald and listen to those lyrics, man, be proud of who you are and fuck a religion, man. That's just all bullshit, Book of hate, it should be banned, That's nothing but a book of terrorism.
Yeah.
And it's all BS. And Einstein said and wrote, he said, I as a Jew am not chosen, and the Bible is nothing but a book of fables. And that was fucking Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he fucking knew it. And for the Torah to have instilled such BS that was taken out of context. And when it was written in Leviticus, it was directed to the rabbinical rules and priestly rules and taken out of context for all of these years. And, the fucking shithead, religious lunatics like the Pope and that. I got a beautiful letter back from the Archbishop Canterbury siding in with my views and saying, he is totally against homophobia. And, they know that all this religion is bullshit, man. Concocted by man, and that civilization goes back millions of years, so it's all fucking bullshit. Yeah. That's like, Jesus, when he was fucking parading around, his fucking first cousin John the Baptist said he was the Messiah. So if you've seen the movie Life of Brian,
I love Life.
oh, Life of Brian is so fucking good. Okay, so I am the Messiah now. Fuck off.
Yeah.
That basically summarizes it all, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
And you know that George Harrison actually produced that.
Financed
film,
it. Yeah,
man.
I love George. I got. I have it right here. Actually, this All Things Must Pass box set.
Oh wow!
I can't recommend enough. It's 8 vinyls, I think, and it's.
Well, it just goes to show that, here was George Harrison, the low-keyed lead guitarist, for fuck's sake. John Lennon and fucking Paul McCartney, yap, 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 and writing masterpieces, like Yesterday, masterpieces, of course. I Want to Hold Your Hand, just brilliant stuff. But George Harrison was there just, low-keyed lead guitarist, man. Fuck. And then, of course, Ringo is such a sweet guy, man. You would just
Ringo's
never, you would never believe how nice of a guy that guy is.
I gotta meet Ringo.
Pardon?
I gotta meet Ringo. I've always wanted to meet the guy.
For me to have met him was one of the greatest honors of my life.
Yeah.
So for sure. But, inspiration for sure, but to have come through Hollywood and Wall Street and Paris and Milano and Firenze and Dante and Rodin, to have been inspired by these great people who left something in the world, like The Thinker and The Gates of Hell and, Divine Comedy. So our generation, when we look back at Eminem is to me a cutting edge character, man, for him to pick up that Academy Award, this little guy out of Detroit, that says a lot. And of course, Bruce Springsteen to do the soundtrack for Philadelphia, and Elton John, these are cornerstone musicians who deserve so much praise,
Yeah. Yeah.
So Colton, you just hold your head up high in the music industry, man, and stick with it. And just know, start writing some heavy lyrics about your freedom and principles in life right now. And excuse me, do something that is, really, really heavy stuff, standing up for your love between your buddies or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And your fans will see it. Your fans will know it. It's like me, man. My true fans that go back to Camaro Cowboy and Oil Rigger Boy. Yeah, Oil Rigger Boy. Take off that hard hat and oil up that butthole. I'm gonna fuck you. Fuck you. Like, they have fun with the music.
Yeah.
To have fun with the music. And this is precisely it too, to have the freedom to release stuff now, and that's the indie freedom that we have, we don't have to clear it with the corner fucking executive at Universal says, oh no, you can't release that, you're fucking Prince Harry, you can't do that. Fuck you, dude, I'm doing what I want to do. So to have this freedom is such a fucking privilege, man. Yo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you sound as if you've got, a lot of, talents. So just put it together, man, and keep it going. Keep it going, like Bob Dylan, man. Fucking Bob Dylan, and these characters who have longevity and they just stick with it, man. Fuck, So like Tool, Maynard and Tool. Maynard, I've seen Tool several times.
Oh, yeah.
And a perfect circle and Pucifer. Maynard to me right now, and Danny on drums. I was playing some Tool earlier today.
Oh yeah.
Fear Inoculum. And just the brilliance of Danny on the fucking drums. And Maynard. Yeah. So to go to a Tool show, like for example, the last Tool show I saw here in Toronto was on the waterfront, and you're walking along, a nice sunny evening. And you're walking along the Prevost buses, the gray Prevost buses with Tool on it. And you're walking by the 7th bus and the 8th bus and the 10th bus and the 11th bus and the 12th bus. all gray Prevost buses, $1 million buses with Tool on the side, and there's 14 tractor trailers. And you're in the dark, and all of a sudden you hear the first sound of fucking Tool. And 3 hours later, you're just blown totally fucking away, you know. And Maynard Keenan is a MacDonald, by the way.
Is he really?
Yes, he is, man. The Keenans are from the MacDonald clan. But
That
hey,
is
listen.
great.
Yeah, listen, Tool is so fucking good. And Metallica, I've seen Metallica many, many times. You know, trust I seek and I find in you, you know. But I kind of found, you know, hey, Tool is far superior. Tool is top shelf, you know. So, yeah. So, hey, Colton, you just, you know, persevere. Fucking do your music, and sometimes you can, you know, do something that's cutting edge that all of a sudden gets some attention. And they say, fuck, this is about, you know, like this boy has been fucked by a tribe of Indians. Colton's been fucked by a tribe of Indians and tied up, and they're just ready to scalp him. And the Indians have huge hard cocks, and you're sucking their cocks, and they let you go. Yeah, man, do something like so fucking much fun that you just fucking, you know, you're fucking right, dude. And you're in Arizona. There's all kinds of tribes down there, man.
Yeah.
Dude, have fun with it, man. Have fun, you know, fuck. For sure.
Well, I hope you keep doing what you're doing, Grant.
Thank you.
It's been an honor.
Thank
been
you
an
for
honor
being
talking to you.
on the podcast.
We'd love to have you back on.
And Kay, and Kay, you check out that song, Tyler's Big Cum Cock, because it's about two lesbians. Hey, what it is, Tyler is fucking around with his frat boys at the frat house, and his girlfriend is fucking around with her girlfriend. So Tyler's Big Cum Cock is about, that was the first lesbian song I did. Then the other one was, of course, about Kate and Meg and fooling around out at Riven Rock while Prince Harry's being butt fucked by 40 naked with 12-inch cocks hard as rocks. Fuck. Hey, listen, man, I'm just honored that I'm having fun with the music and, you know, in a creative world that, you know, and with technology that allows me to do this. So, and thank you to all my fans out there, Discord, Techie Boys, all my fans around the world. I'm honored.
Yeah. Thank you, Grant, so much. It's been an honor.
Hey,
Thank you.
Colton and Dan and Kay, it's been an honor to speak with such brilliant techies and, you know, such creative minds. So I'm honored to be here. And thank you for doing the interview, and best to all my fans out there. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All
Thank
right.
you, Grant.
Hey, boy.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.